More bullshit from football officials as they seem set to introduce a blue card to the football game. And look, this is just a mere extension of what was being rumoured as being maybe an orange card, something in between a yellow card and a red card. And I did a video on this previously, but I thought that I would sort of re-highlight my thoughts on this. And that thought is that this is stupid. This is ruining the game of football. That the game of football has been ruined such that we now have to introduce rules to overcome the issues that have been created by ruining football. And when I say that they've ruined football, what I mean is that the issue that has been created that has allowed them to begin to think about introducing this system of punishment in the game in the form of that blue card is that once upon a time, fouls were there were three levels of fouls. The first level was a foul that wasn't worthy of a yellow card. And these would be things like a simple tackle that didn't get the ball, potentially what's called a tactical foul, or used to be called a tactical foul, in which a player would bring down an opponent when the opponent was through with a clear goal scoring opportunity outside of the box. So let's say that they'd run clear through from the halfway line, and a good case of this was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I believe it was against Newcastle, I'm not 100% sure, in the FA Cup semi-finals, I believe. And he chased down the player and brought him down on the edge of the box in what was clearly a goal-saving challenge. Typically, something like that, previous to that example, wouldn't have even been given as a yellow card. A yellow card would be something that would be considered somewhat dangerous. Maybe a player who went in for a slide tackle and got none of the ball and had tackled them at sort of a dangerous angle, sort of maybe from behind, etc., etc. And a red card would be something that was definitely worthy of being sent off for, like being aggressive on the pitch, maybe violent on the pitch, maybe going in to intentionally hurt a player on the pitch, such as Roy Keane stamping down on Gareth Southgate. Those would be red cards, and those would be straight red cards. And 2 yellow cards was an indicator that the player was reckless on the pitch and that they were potentially a danger to the other players on the pitch, whether intentional or not. And so 2 sort of yellow card worthy scenarios in which maybe a player's gone through the back of another player, or that they have gone in at a dangerous angle in an attempt to try to win the ball back. If they'd done that twice, that would be a red card. And these were substantial rules, they were rational rules, they were understandable rules. And so effectively what this blue card is going to be is it's going to be sort of a replacement for what a yellow card used to be. And the reason that football has been ruined is because practically every foul that occurs on a pitch today is a yellow card, whether it's intentional, whether it's dangerous. Simply just tackling a player and not getting the ball, slide tackling a player and not getting the ball at all, that's a yellow card. Whether it's considered dangerous or not, it's a yellow card. And that sort of progression over the course of many years, probably the last 20 years, has meant that football is no longer the game that it used to be. Things that were considered not to be a foul previously is now a foul. Things that were considered a foul but not a yellow card is now a yellow card. Things that previously would have been a yellow card is now a straight red. And look, it doesn't it doesn't save players from any particular injury today. Injuries are occurring at probably higher rates today than they were previously, because players play more games today than they did previously, because of the ever expansion of any kind of tournament to get more and more money out of it. And look, the game is not the same as it was. It's not the same game that I grew up with. Football used to be a contact sport when I grew up, and now any kind of contact that the referee deems to be a foul is automatically a yellow card, regardless of whether it's a foul or not, regardless of whether there was any danger in the foul, in the incident or not. Football has changed, and not for the better. The game's been made a hell of a lot worse because every issue is a foul, and every foul is a yellow card. There are continuous stoppages in the game because of that. Obviously, we have poor refereeing. The rules have been altered behind our backs, and we know this as a consequence of VAR giving referees the opportunity to look at things over and over and over again as many times as they could possibly want. And it's just ridiculousness. I would much prefer that football went back to sort of the old officiating, where there were fouls that weren't yellow cards, and that by today's standards, things that were yellow cards are now red cards. I'd like to return to a yellow card is a potentially dangerous tackle because of maybe the angle of the tackle, the player didn't get any of the ball, etc., etc. These guidelines were there for a reason, and they were there because people liked action in games. People liked aggressiveness in games. A player, for example, like a Roy Keane, the guy would be sent off every week in today's game. So I don't agree with this blue card introduction. I think it's a load of crap. I'm not interested in it whatsoever. And I think that it will do the game even more damage than what's already been done by making the punishments even more severe for things that aren't rational, for where sort of the punishment is more severe. I don't agree with any of that. And as I said, I would like for the carding system, for the punishment system to go back to how it was, let's say around the mid-2000s. I think the game probably was at its peak at that point, and we're seeing the slow sort of degradation of the sport as a consequence to the officiating choices that are being made. But that's my thoughts on the blue card system. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and have a great day.